You know that specific, almost guilty wave of relief that washes over you when plans get canceled? You were dreading it all day, looking at the clock, mentally calculating how late you'd be out, maybe even hoping for a minor catastrophe just so you wouldn't have to go. Then, the text comes in. Hey, I can't make it tonight. And suddenly, you feel lighter. You don't feel disappointment, you feel freedom. If that sounds familiar, you aren't antisocial, and you certainly aren't a bad friend. You are likely part of a unique psychological cohort that society often misunderstands. Today, we aren't just talking about why you like staying home. We're going to dismantle the entire cultural narrative that says outgoing equals happy and quiet equals boring. We are diving deep into the neuroscience of your social battery, the hidden power of solitude, and why your brain might actually be a supercomputer that just needs a cooling system. But before we get into the heavy science, I have to ask, have you ever lied about being busy just to stay home and do absolutely nothing? Be honest in the comments, because I have a feeling you are not alone. Here is the thing about the Homebody label. It is usually thrown around as a gentle insult, implying that someone is unadventurous or lazy. But psychologists and neuroscientists have found that the preference for staying home is actually rooted in your biology. It comes down to how your brain processes dopamine. We all know dopamine is the feel-good chemical, but extroverts and introverts react to it very differently. Extroverts have a nervous system that isn't easily stimulated, so they need to hunt for dopamine. They need the loud music, the crowded bar, the new faces, and the unpredictable energy of a party just to feel normal. Their baseline is lower, so they need the spike. You, on the other hand, if you love staying home, your brain likely has a high sensitivity to dopamine. You don't need to hunt for it. You are easily overstimulated by it. For you, a crowded room isn't exciting. It is an assault on your senses. Instead, your brain thrives on a different neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. This chemical makes us feel good when we are calm, focused, and safe. It is the chemical of reading a book, watching a documentary, or having a deep one-on-one conversation. So when you choose to stay home, you aren't hiding from the world. You are literally choosing the chemical pathway that makes your specific brain happy. If you want to learn more about how to hack your own brain chemicals for a better life, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because we break down this kind of hidden psychology every single week, and you won't want to miss the next one. Let's go deeper into this concept of the social battery, because it is more than just a metaphor. When you are out in the world, you are constantly performing. We call this the social mask. You are monitoring your facial expressions, filtering your thoughts, nodding at the right times, and navigating the complex, unwritten rules of social hierarchy. For an introvert or a highly sensitive person, this is metabolically expensive. It burns actual glucose in your brain. When you finally get home, close the door, and put on those sweatpants, you aren't just changing clothes. You are dropping the mask. The silence of your home allows your nervous system to switch from the sympathetic state, which is fight or flight, to the parasympathetic state, which is rest and digest. This is why you might feel physically exhausted after a day of socializing, even if you just sat in a chair. Your brain was running a marathon. This brings us to the control theory. One of the biggest reasons people prefer home is the control it offers in a chaotic world. Out there, you cannot control the temperature, the music volume, the smells, or the people who decide to talk to you. But at home, you are the architect of your environment. You curate the vibe. This isn't about being a control freak. It is about self-preservation. For those with high sensitivity, controlling the environment is the only way to lower cortisol levels and actually relax. But there is a massive upside to this that society ignores. While the world praises the loud and the busy, history tells a different story. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in art, science, and philosophy didn't happen at a networking event. They happened in solitude. Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, Emily Dickinson, they were notorious homebodies. Neuroscience shows that when you are alone and your brain isn't processing social cues, it enters the default mode network. This is the state where daydreaming, memory consolidation, and creative problem-solving happen. If you are constantly out with friends, your brain never gets the chance to enter this deep state. So, sitting on your couch staring at the ceiling isn't wasting time. It is often when your brain is doing its most profound work. You might be solving problems in your subconscious that you couldn't figure out all week. If you have ever had a brilliant idea while showering or trying to fall asleep, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That is the power of solitude. However, we have to address the elephant in the room, because there is a fine line between solitude and isolation. And this is where we need to be careful. The Japanese have a term called hikikomori, referring to people who withdraw from society completely, staying in their rooms for months or years. That is the extreme end of the spectrum. You have to be honest with yourself. Are you staying home because you enjoy your own company, or are you staying home because you are afraid of the world? There is a difference between solitude, which is the glory of being alone, and loneliness, which is the pain of being alone. If staying home leaves you feeling recharged and inspired, that is health. If it leaves you feeling empty and anxious, that is avoidance. It is a slippery slope. Sometimes, anxiety tricks us into thinking we want to stay home, when really, we are just avoiding the discomfort of growth. If you are nodding your head right now, realizing you might be leaning too far into avoidance, don't worry. Awareness is the first step, and we are going to explore how to build social confidence in future videos, which is another reason you need to be subscribed to this channel. We also need to talk about JOMO, the joy of missing out. For years, we have been plagued by FOMO, the fear of missing out. Social media makes it look like everyone else is having the time of their lives every weekend. But let's be real. How many of those Instagram stories are actually capturing genuine joy, and how many are just curated performances? JOMO is the rebellion against that pressure. It is the confident declaration that I am exactly where I need to be. It is realizing that a quiet night with a cup of tea and a movie isn't a consolation prize. It is the grand prize. It is the ability to say no without providing an excuse. You don't need to be sick. You don't need to have a family emergency. I'm not feeling it tonight is a valid sentence. The people who truly love you will understand. In fact, setting those boundaries usually makes your relationship stronger because when you do show up, people know you actually want to be there. So, here is the truth you need to take away today. If you are the type of person who recharges in the quiet, who finds magic in the stillness, and who prefers deep connection over wide acquaintances, you are not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You are simply wired for depth. You are a high-maintenance machine in the best possible way. You require specific conditions to operate at peak performance. But when those conditions are met, you are capable of incredible things. Don't let a loud, extroverted society gaslight you into thinking you are boring. You are just protecting your peace. I want you to think about this. What is the one stay-at-home ritual that makes you feel most alive? Is it cooking, gaming, reading, painting? Whatever it is, protect it, prioritize it, and stop apologizing for it. If you want to stop feeling guilty about who you are and start understanding the why behind your behavior, you are in the right place. We are building a community here of deep thinkers and quiet observers who are tired of the noise. If that sounds like your tribe, click that subscribe button right now. Do not just watch and leave. Join us. We have so much more to uncover about your personality type. In fact, if you found this relatable, you need to watch this next video on screen. It dives into the highly sensitive person trait. It explains why you feel things more deeply than everyone else. And trust me, it will be the biggest aha moment of your year. Click it, and I'll see you there.